The Flu Network.
Like Flu Network. That was another Harry Potter joke.
What's the flu? Oh, like
when
the
they go
flu,
in,
like
yeah, the flu. When they go in the fireplaces.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dumbledore's office
Oh, no.
is the username, and then Sherbet Lemon is the password.
What's the significance of Sherbet Lemon?
That's the password in Harry Potter.
Oh my God,
That's
Sarah.
to get into Dumbledore's office.
Okay, listen.
No, did I go down too far?
You've lost 90% of us.
Okay, but
I love it because now you listening, RCR fam, you're seeing the inner workings of a real Potterhead here.
Okay, but I'll bring it back.
Welcome to the Rom-Com Rewind podcast.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Devin.
And like you, I love rewatching movies over and over again.
You made it to us. You found us. You love romantic comedies, which is great news because we do as well.
So this is a show where we rewatch rom-coms, break them down a bit for you, maybe take a peek behind the curtain, dig beneath the surface, and decide, does it still hold up?
Today we have Couples Retreats. And wherever you're listening to us, make sure you throw a follow. And if you ever want to reach out about anything on the pod, DM us on Instagram at Romcom Rewind.
We have a message from Charlotte. She says, "Hi, absolutely love your podcast. It's a firm favorite for me. I just wanted to recommend a movie called Walking on Sunshine. It's one of my faves. I don't know how known it is outside of the UK, but I believe it is a hidden gem that everyone should watch at least once. Thanks for making such a great podcast. Absolutely love it."
Interesting. I've actually never heard of that one even once.
Yes, that's what I said. I added it to our watch list, and I got to check it out to see if we have it here on any of our streaming in Canada.
Okay, it's a 2014. Who are these humans?
I kind of love that, though. We don't know the cast.
Yeah, wow. There are some of them I'm like vaguely, I think I know them from... But this is a largely a cast that I'm unfamiliar with. Very interesting. Okay, well, oh my God. Wedding in Italy? Yes.
Oh,
done.
It's a wedding. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Done. Sold.
Couples Retreat. And thank you for the DM. And if you have any questions or thoughts or movie suggestions, throw us a DM on Instagram. Couples Retreat is a 2009 romantic comedy directed by Peter Billingsley. Do you know who Peter Billingsley is, by the way?
Tell me who Peter Billingsley is.
Oh, you don't know? Shoot, I thought you did. Peter Billingsley.
I don't remember the directors. It's terrible for me to say.
He's the little kid from A Christmas Story.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, the kid with the glasses.
Yeah.
That's him. He directed this one. It's the story of Dave, played by Vince Vaughn, and his wife Ronnie, played by Malin Ackerman. Dave and Ronnie are kind of a typical married couple raising two young boys in the suburbs of Chicago, kind of in the whirlwind of parenthood and life and everything that entails. They have a few friends, Joey and Lucy, played by Jon Favreau and Kristen Davis, who have actually quietly agreed to separate, just nobody knows that yet. Shane and Trudy, played by Fajon Love and Callie Hawk, who are polar opposites. Shane is in his 40s, Trudy is 20. It's basically all you need to know about that situation. And then there's Jason and Cynthia Smith, played by Jason Bateman and Kristen Bell. Jason and Cynthia have been struggling with infertility, and because of that, their marriage has been struggling. And with that, they have convinced the entire friend group to take a couples retreat to the island of Eden because they need to rediscover their own relationship and their own love, and they think, hey, maybe everybody could use a trip like this. And fun fact, everybody could use a trip like that to help rekindle the love in their marriages. That's your lead-in for Couples Retreat. What are your thoughts?
Are you telling me that after 7 years together, you still get aroused by the same woman?
I do. How often you do it?
Oh, it's different now because we got the kids.
I peed.
Hi, hon.
How was your day?
Usual?
I want to speak to a manager. I'd like to complain about how hot the waitresses are here.
Yours?
Good. Trainer really blasted my glutes.
You are not buying some 20-year-old broad a motorcycle.
This girl makes you feel young again.
Bang, bang.
She's a kid. Buy her a Hello Kitty book.
Jason and I are seriously considering getting a divorce.
And that is why we are going to go here.
It's Disneyland for adults.
You guys are gonna have a blast.
Actually, we have found a great group rate.
This movie is a fun movie. I mean, the cast is amazing.
Oh, huge cast.
And it's such it's so funny because, I mean, I love Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman in this movie was kind of annoying. I love Kristen Bell. I thought they all played their characters really well because, I mean, you weren't supposed to like Jason Bateman's character. You weren't supposed like, there were certain aspects of this movie where you weren't supposed to like the person, or you were supposed to love the person, or you wanted them to get with so and so. Like they played their characters really well. And I think that goes back to the caliber of experience and actors that they hired for this movie and had on board. They don't make movies like this much anymore.
They don't.
Where it borderlines the almost like,
I think Adam Sandler's the only person who still makes movies like this.
And I think you're right. I mean, this is in quick facts, but this movie was filmed in Bora Bora.
Oh,
which is like total paradise.
Stop.
At the St. Regis, and I think the only person who really does that still is Adam Sandler.
He keeps on sending his friends to Hawaii.
Exactly, and does these movies. But I think it's funny because similar line to like an Adam Sandler, similar line in humor to the Adam Sandler, but better. This was better, way better.
Yes, I would agree with that.
The writing was better. The humor was better. It wasn't slapstick, whatever. Vince Vaughn played a true Vince Vaughn character in this, though. Like, he had his monologues. He is a fantastic public speaker. It's almost like when you have like a solo in like a play or when you're singing where he like voices his complaint opinions. Does that make sense? I mean, I'm a big fan of Vince Vaughn. I love him. So, but he's always like going on a monologue, long-winded monologue. This is a fun movie. I enjoyed it. What are your thoughts, Devin? Yeah,
I think this film is really fun. I agree. Like Jason Bateman, he does the neurotic,
oh my god, so well.
Character so well. Like I think about even his role in Game Night.
Arrested Development.
Oh, so many others.
I mean,
but like this film is really funny, mostly by design, but occasionally also unintentionally. And we can talk about those moments as they come up. But it's a classic zany 2000s comedy with a big, massive cast, an absurd premise, odd or interesting side characters, and I'll be honest, an ending that makes you kind of scratch your head.
Yeah.
Like, I think with a movie like this, it's all about the journey and not the destination. It's about the friends we made along the way.
They wrapped it up really quick.
I've got so many things about the wrap up to this movie where I'm like, what actually just happened here? But the journey to get there was great. It was fun. I thought a lot of the jokes were really, really funny and hit really well. And in moments that the jokes weren't hitting well, I thought the movie was just silly, and I like to make fun of it. Like, I think it is one of those movies that you can enjoy, but you can also poke fun at and be like, well, that's stupid, but it's still funny. Like they have a Guitar Hero solo moment that's actually the build up to like this big thing in this movie. It's absolutely absurd. Anyway, let's dive in.
So in the first 10 minutes, we meet all of the couples. We have Dave and Ronnie. We have Jason and Cynthia, Joey and Lucy, and Shane and Trudy. And we get a sense that they each have their own stuff that's going on in their relationships they're all like best friends. And I think it's the guys that are all tied together, and the girls have kind of married into the friend group, but they're also all friends. And Shane is divorced from his wife, Jennifer. So he has a new 20-year-old girlfriend. So I'll just preface that there. And then we see Ronnie and Dave, and they don't really have any issues right on the surface, except it seems that Dave doesn't really give Ronnie any time for her things, and it's kind of all about him, which, I mean, typical. I love Vince Vaughn for this role.
Oh, a classic Vince Vaughn character.
It is beyond perfect for him.
It's funny because later on they talk about how he bulldozes people, and it's like, that is just who Vince Vaughn is as a human. I think like every single role he's done, he's a bulldozer. Yeah, I love Shane. I love how this is back to the whole, like, this movie's funny.
Yeah.
But if you also want to poke fun at the stupidity of it, it's still funny. Like with Shane, he has this moment where he calls...
Oh my God, yes.
Dave, and he's like, listen, man, I need you to be a cosign for this motorcycle I'm buying. And they try to like humanize this 40-something-year-old who's dating a 20-something-year-old, where he's like, oh man, I'm hurting. I really need this right now. And
Dave, I'm hurting. I would love for my wife to come back, but we know that's not going to happen. It's nice to feel appreciated.
I need this for me.
Fine, just text me the address.
You're like, oh, the poor guy who mismanages his money and got divorced and is dating a 20-year-old. Like, am I meant to feel bad for him
'Cause
right
we
now?
don't.
Like, oh, this poor guy needs a motorcycle because he got divorced. Like, I don't feel bad for him.
Yeah, this is like the opposite of the idea of you. He's 40, she's 20.
She's
like
20,
in the opposite,
but it doesn't feel good.
No, it doesn't work out well. Like, yeah, he's trying to be something he is not.
Yes.
Anne Hathaway was trying to be something that she is.
But we have that moment on the phone where it's like, listen, I just need this. And you're like, I don't feel bad for you, Faye Jean Love. I'm sorry.
No. And the whole thing's a midlife crisis. Is it a whole midlife crisis? At 40, he's dating a 20-year-old, which, each their own.
Oh, yeah.
Wants a motorcycle, though.
Yeah, but just, I'm not going to feel bad for him.
Wants to have wax dripped on him. Like, ouch.
Yeah.
That's not my idea of a good time.
Like, you can either make the guy silly and zany or, like, relatable and lovable.
Oh, God.
You can't do both. So he's funny and zany to me.
Yes,
He's just weird,
So at Ronnie and Dave's son's birthday, all their friends come over, and Cynthia and Jason, one of the couples, want their friends to sit through a PowerPoint presentation. And this couple in particular is extremely analytical and very logical. And I think you can kind of get an idea right off the bat that their relationship is built upon practicality and what works, what doesn't, very logical. So they have everything mapped out. As like everything, they want to get a divorce. They're considering getting a divorce because they're having trouble conceiving, and it has put a lot of pressure on in other areas of their relationship as well, that they've realized that maybe they're just not, again, this is from an analytical, numbers, factual perspective, that maybe they're just not soulmates. Now they say to the group, they're going to a place called Eden. All the friends are happy. Good. You guys go team. Don't get divorced if you have to.
We have found a great group rate.
Oh, there's the fine print.
No, Joey, just the embarrassing fact is that, Cynthia and I can't afford to go to this place by ourselves. But if all of us go together, it's half price.
They quietly skip over the couple skill building, which they all would have to do. But everybody says no thanks. Like, their lives are just too busy. They can't go. They don't want to go. Whatever. And they're very, very sad about it. Cynthia and Jason, like, they're very upset about it. They really can't go. Ronnie and Dave decide that they're going to go at a later date. And this is kind of like the main character, the Vince Vaughn and Malin Ackerman. Later that night, though, their house gets broken into, and it's Jason who's breaking in because he is there to try and convince Dave, who is kind of if he says yes, everybody else is going to say yes.
Which was a ridiculous thing. I have that written down, that Vince Vaughn is so important to the friend group that Jason even says he's like, yeah, everybody's going to go if you go. Like, that's not how friend groups work. Like, what do they all, it's a house of cards. If Dave's not going, it all falls apart. I'm like, okay, really?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's part of it. I think there is that person who pushes other people to do things in friend groups. Like, I know a lot of times our friend group wouldn't hang out if it wasn't me making plans.
Yeah, but that's different. Everybody wants to do something and nobody wants to plan it, so you plan it.
So
that's
I plan
different.
it. I'm the planner, yes. But how would you feel if someone in our friend group was like, oh, I can't afford to go, but I can only afford to go if all 10 of you guys go?
I mean, with the way that Jason teed it up and he was disingenuous to the group when he was explaining it, I would be super down. I'm like, a group rate on this trip? I'm kind of into that.
Woo!
Jet skis, let's go. So I would be a little interested. However, our friend Jason was not being truthful in his delivery here, because he said that the couple's skill building portion was optional.
Correct. Ooh. But it is not.
Foreshadowing, it might not be.
Correct. But before we jump in there, okay, so that night they ask what the Wi-Fi password is. I can't remember exactly what Vince Vaughn says, and I should have wrote it down, but I didn't. But I have some of the funniest or best Wi-Fi passwords that I found on Reddit.
Okay, tell me.
Okay, so what's your Wi-Fi password? It's on the fridge, and then the password is it's on your fridge.
Yeah, it's physically
and then
the
you
words,
watch the person look
fridge.
on the fridge.
That's funny though.
Yes,
that's a funny little. That's a little gag. Okay.
We don't have Wi-Fi.
Is the name of the Wi-Fi password?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Realize.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Are we changing ours?
a tiny little backstory. Sarah and I, like, there was
I think I remember this.
yes, there was somebody of note who went on a rant a couple years ago. And in the rant, it was kind of one of those, like, listen to this guy go off. Isn't he ridiculous? And he said that quote. He's like, real eyes. Long pause. It was so dramatic, Sarah. Realize. And it was like, he thought Martin Luther King, like, I have a dream speech.
Absolutely.
Like, he thought he was doing something there. And to this day, I find that quote hilarious.
Yes, I completely agree with you.
Oh, that's my favorite thing. I think he repeated it, actually, if I'm remembering the moment. Oh, I love that. Okay, what else? Okay, can I say, if there's a surveillance van
Martin
number...
Luther King, there was one that was Martin Router King.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Which, I mean, was fine. I didn't think it was like, So my password is same name as the network. It really confuses people when they ask for my Wi-Fi and password, but the password never works. Same name as the network, and then the password never works. No?
I don't totally... I will be honest. You lost me a little bit.
Okay. My password Okay. What's your password? What's your Wi-Fi called? D-Link8424. Okay, what's your password? Same name as the network. Then why does it say invalid password? I don't know. You must have typed it wrong. But like, what's your password is same name as the network.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Does that make more sense?
Yeah.
I played out the little conversation.
What was never works?
I don't know. Because it never worked because it was invalid password.
Oh.
Sorry. That was bad explanation on my part. This is why I can't say jokes. I'm not funny. Okay, this other one, too much, eh? Too
Needlessly
much.
confusing. Yeah.
Too much. Okay, next one is Alohomora.
Oh, love it.
Or the Flu Network.
The Flu Network.
Like Flu Network. That was another Harry Potter joke.
What's the flu? Oh, like
when
the
they go
flu,
in.
like
Yeah, the flu. When they go in the fireplaces.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dumbledore's office
is
the username, and then Sherbet Lemon is the password.
What's the significance of Sherbet Lemon?
That's the password in Harry Potter.
Oh my God,
That's
Sarah.
to get into Dumbledore's office.
Okay, listen.
No, did I go down too far?
You've lost 90% of us.
Okay, but
I love it because now you listening, RCR fam, you're seeing the inner workings of a real Potterhead here.
Okay, but I'll bring it back. Everybody, bring it back.
Do you have any more Potter ones?
No.
Okay.
I'm done. At a local church, it was called the Promised Land. Promised Land?
LAN?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that was good. That was probably one of my favorites. I think that one's great.
I like that one.
The next one is just searching ... That was the password. No? Okay. Username Peasant Wi-Fi, and then the password is stop begging.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's fun. I like that one.
This person's at home. Password is it burns when I pee.
Ooh.
Like IP.
Oh.
Like an IP address. Yeah.
Okay.
And then in the office is pretty fly for a Wi-Fi.
You're like, this is maximum dad pun.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't like that?
You're in your element right now.
Okay, Panic at the Cisco. Bring me the Verizon. Linkus Park. Connectile dysfunction. Wi-Fi name is Special K, and the password is high in fiber. And then the last one, Devin's dying.
Odd.
Bill Y, the Science Spy. I think that one's the best one.
I'll be honest.
Yes.
The puns are like a 3 out of 10. Your enjoyment of the puns is about an 11 out of 10.
Yes. Okay, that's all I got.
Oh, okay.
I apologize for the terrible contribution to the podcast today.
Hey, if you're having fun, we're having fun. Okay.
All right. So Jason tries to convince Dave again to go on the trip. Like I said, it works. Everyone goes on the trip, including Trudy, the 20-year-old girlfriend. We find out that there's 2 different resorts, Eden East and Eden West. West is for couples only and lots of therapy. East is singles only and a lot of canoodling. So they find out at dinner that they have an early morning of couples therapy the next morning, which their friends, Jason and Cynthia, knew about but chose to omit, like we mentioned earlier.
I think there's been a misunderstanding here. See, we signed up for the fun stuff with the touchy-feely shit being optional.
Thank you.
I think it's called the Pelican Package.
Yes, the Pelican Package, which is Monsieur Marcel's signature course. A healthy combination of couple-friendly activities, ample downtime.
That's the one.
Sprinkled in with some couple skill-building courses designed to reignite the dimming flames of even the most mismanaged relationships.
But after the best meal of their lives, they decide to stay. It must have had MSG in it.
Is that what immediately makes something better?
Well, like, food that has MSG in it, you eat a lot of it because it's really good.
I'll be honest, I know so little about MSG. You can tell me any story about MSG. I assume like it's I don't even know what I assume.
That was like the big thing that they used to say, like American Chinese food
has MSG in
has
it.
MSG in it.
Because you eat a lot of it.
Because you can't stop eating it because it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I had no. I just knew it was a boogeyman. MSG was a boogeyman. That's all I knew.
Okay, so they decide to stay. Next morning, we meet Marcel, who is like in charge of like the couples therapy in this whole island. They all stand in a line and take off their clothes, which is hilarious. What a way to like, I mean, maybe by yourselves, but like, would you do that in front of all your friends? I mean, I guess it's a bathing suit. I mean, they're in their underwear with or no underwear.
Yeah, I mean, our boy Shane ends up naked. That like it's weird because like our friend group, if the guys saw me naked, like that's whatever. The girls though, yeah, it is weird. Right? It is weird for my friend's significant other to see me naked. I don't know about that. Can I bring up something that is a recurring thing throughout our movie?
Sure.
Shane and Trudy. Yeah. Shane in question is the one who ends up dropping his
drawers.
You know, yeah.
Do you not say the word drawers? You just go.
Yeah, exactly. Just a little click, click. Can we talk about couples saying "daddy"?
Oh my God, I can't. Yeah,
we can't go this far into the podcast. I can't
talk about it
without acknowledging Trudy calling Shane daddy.
I can't.
Listen, Shane.
You are not buying some 20-year-old broad a motorcycle.
I'm not buying her anything. It's for me.
Daddy, what's taking so long?
Hey, babe, I'm on the phone, and I would prefer if you didn't call me that in public.
But I call all my boyfriends daddy.
Which, I mean, when this movie came out, it wasn't even as popular as it is now.
No, you're right.
Women calling their significant others daddy has become more prominent.
I'm just shaking my head.
Sarah's nodding.
Like,
she's not.
I mean, you do what you like, but publicly, I think is different. Like publicly, you do what you want, like in wherever, but like not publicly.
So I have for you, Sarah.
Oh goodness, I love
a list of stories of awkward public moments of couples that are referring to their significant other as a thing or just something strange. This person says, "I have a friend who refers to his newly married wife as his first wife." And she calls him current husband.
That's actually something that I could see one of our friends doing to their significant other. Like literally I could hear it coming out of his mouth.
Is it funny or awkward though? Are you like
I think that's funny, but I think it gets to a point where it's no longer funny.
I was going to say you can get away with it for a little bit, but like if you guys actually start fighting, then it's like, ooh, this got awkward real quick. You know, there's a line there. Apparently in the Netherlands, okay, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation. I apologize to our Netherlands listeners. Minjin Poppy is a common couple nickname literally meaning my little poop.
Oh.
It's like a lovingly way of calling someone a little shit. Yeah.
Oh my God. You're my little shit.
This person says, my girlfriend once said out loud, called me Daddy Long Dick.
No, that's weird. No. Is it supposed to be Daddy Long Legs? Because like that's...
I think exactly that. Yeah.
No. It's a weird one.
I had to call my ex Chinita, which means in Mexican curly haired. She thought it was cute. Like, ooh, call me like Chinita. It's adorable. He says, but I'm Central American. And that word literally means Chinese lady in how we say it. So a little awkward to call her that. Maybe it's like different slang terms or dialects or something. And this last one, this is back to the daddy thing. This person says, my stepmom
Oh, no.
refers to my dad as daddy.
No.
Which is not an unusual pet name, they say, but it is weird for me. Like my stepmom calling my dad daddy.
No.
That feels weird. Yes, it feels weird, right?
Yeah. No, thank you.
I'm like,
no, thank you.
I'll be honest, when the daddy phenomenon started, I was like, well, like that's kind of strange, but now it's like popular, Sarah. Do you realize like this is fairly common?
No.
No, you Sarah's totally in denial. No, it is not common, Devin. My head is in the sand and I have no idea how common it is.
No.
Oh God! Just a flat no. Nothing. Okay. Yeah.
No.
All right.
No.
We can move on.
So after they all strip naked, they go to therapy. They each have their own therapist, each couple, and they each have their own shit. Some leave worse than when they started, and especially Joey and Lucy, they make no progress whatsoever. And actually, there's some things that stir up for Dave and Ronnie.
Dave and Ronnie have maybe a facade that everything is perfect, but really...
But they don't even realize that that's the facade that they have. Like, they're just in, like... They just have no idea.
Our boy John Michael Higgins as that therapist. Some of the therapists are hilarious. Ken Jeong is also one of the therapists.
Yes, great picks. Like, honestly, I loved it.
Amazing side characters. In fact, it is kind of my best scene, this first interaction with Ronnie and Dave, and that therapist, Robert is his name. Especially because, like, he just makes Dave so uncomfortable. And Vince Vaughn playing like the uncomfortable, like boisterous, like I think about his role in Wedding Crashers a lot in this scene. He just gets so uncomfortable and it's very, very comical, especially with Robert like writing notes. And at one point, Dave is like,
what's interesting? Why do you keep writing stuff down on your little pad there?
Oh, I'm taking notes. Would it make you more comfortable if I didn't take notes?
Yeah, actually, it would make me more comfortable. Thank you.
That's interesting.
He's like, oh, interesting. And he starts writing a note about how he's uncomfortable with him writing notes. Like the comedic delivery of John Michael Higgins and Ken Jeong actually in like these side roles. It's like literally you guys are in the movie for 2 scenes. I think elevates the whole experience so well.
Yeah, and they do a really good job. It's kind of like Catherine Hahn in 10 Things How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yes.
When she plays the fake therapist.
Totally.
I mean, in this case, these people play real therapists in the movie, but it's just the delivery, the timing of what they're talking about. It's just so funny. Like sometimes the side characters just, like you said, elevate the movie.
Absolutely.
So one of the activities later on is feeding the fish, and sharks come around. Everyone freaks out, leaving Dave in the water, and we get a very typical Vince Vaughn monologue here, where he believes, and he continues this on into dinner later that night, that he got attacked by a shark, and it's all about him. Ronnie and him were supposed to go to a romantic waterfall to see it, but again, he makes it about himself, and this is a big piece of their story that comes out throughout the movie. Lucy and Joey, they get a couples massage separately. Gert is Joey's masseuse and gets a full-on hard-on. And Lucy's masseuse, it turns out she's like trying to hit on him, but turns out he's gay and has is married. And they were both trying to get off with their masseuse. They both cheat on each other constantly, or try to anyway. And
they have a deeply flawed relationship. And even in like their therapy chats, they're like, yeah, it's all good, because they're kind of both checked out of the relationship anyways.
Oh yeah. Like I think it's established at the beginning of the movie that when their daughter moves out, they're done. They're splitting up. We also find out that Shane and Trudy are not doing well either. Trudy wants to live it up, get drunk, and just have fun.
She's in her 20s.
Shane is too tired. He's just too tired. This next scene, the next day, is the yoga scene. This is my best scene.
Oh, the yoga scene was so good.
The most like iconic scene that I remember from this movie. This scene, we have Salvatore. He comes out of the water like a majestic merman and thrusts or booms across the way as he is giving his yoga instruction.
My favorite thing about this is that he, like, every time he talks to one of the main characters, he'll like slap them like on the butt or on the shoulder and be like, encouragement. And then he'll like walk away. It's very like, it feels like a Pokemon saying its own name. It's like, encouragement. And then he leaves, you know? It's kind of, am I right?
Oh my God, it totally is.
Jason!
You have a great aura. Yes.
Jason!
Encouragement. Yes. And bring her deeper and deeper into a stretch, yes?
Okay, Fabio, that's enough with the pulsating, please.
Then do it. Yes. Encouragement, my friend.
Jigglypuff.
But yeah. But it's like, and it's one of those things where like,
so funny. Encouragement.
And this is like back to the whole delivery of lines like that. I'm sure when you read that on a script, you're like, that's stupid. He just says encouragement and leaves, but it's the way it's delivered. It's the way it's executed by Carlos Ponce is his name. Like, holy shit, dying, laughing, watching
so
him,
funny.
you know?
So he was so, like, he did such a great job with his character. So afterwards, the girls are in the sauna and Ronnie is telling Lucy what she was doing with the yoga instructor was totally inappropriate. And then in the winter room, literally a winter room, Dave and Joey are having a very similar conversation. And so we start to see the cracks in the relationships a little bit more, that their friends are seeing these cracks. Now, Trudy is gone. She has just left the island, and we all suspect that she's gone to the singles side. She does not want to be with sad, tired Shane anymore. The group decides that they have to go to the single side to save her. They canoe over and Cynthia and Jason capsize over. And afterwards, Jason pushes Cynthia just too far, not physically, but like emotionally. And
I want to play a game here because you talked about it, how Jason is absurdly analytical. That is his whole thing. He is the most logical person. Like he says when they're trying to get the trip sorted out, he says the line, "This is just a feeler call to test the temperature on dates," which I'm like, this is the most corporate bro jargon you can find. And I find it interesting because like in my workplace, like we have a little bit of corporate jargon, like the whole like let's circle back on that, or let's take this offline, or like we're not reinventing the wheel here.
Right.
The easy ones.
Right.
That's like corporate jargon light. However, our girl Sarah here, I have happened to walk by with you on Teams meeting here and there.
Yeah.
And I think your corporate bro jargon is pretty good, Sarah.
oh, mine. Okay.
So I have for you,
All right.
how well does Sarah know corporate bro jargon?
Ooh, okay. Well, we'll
list of unusual but used corporate jargon phrases that people say.
Okay.
You either need to get it right or you need to guess what it is, okay?
Okay.
I'll start you off with an easy one, like lipstick on a pig. We know what that is, right?
Okay, so taking something that doesn't look so good and just passing it off as something that is workable.
Putting a favorable spin on a negative situation.
There you go. There you go.
A bag of snakes. We know what that is, right? That's an easy one.
A bag of snakes.
Yes.
Not overly familiar with this one. However, I would guess that you'd like stick your hand in, you don't want to get bit. Bag of snakes.
Okay, it's a situation with unexpected problems.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I like that.
How about this one?
like
Can
that
I
one.
stir
might
fry
bring
an
that.
idea in your think walk?
I have never heard this one, but I am loving it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
I'm bringing
you
this back.
You should use this.
Can you say that again?
Can I stir fry
Stir
an
fry
idea
an
in your
idea.
think walk?
In
like
your think walk.
W-O-K.
Oh, this is like a think tank. You know, can I just like pitch something to you and see what you think about it?
Bingo! You nailed it, Sarah. Here we go. A meeting assassin. What is this?
Oh, somebody who hijacks a meeting?
Yes, you're right. Oh, she's nailing it. How about eat a reality sandwich?
Oh, like figure it out. Like you're totally out to lunch here. You got to get your stuff together and get your poop in a pile. Is that what I usually say?
More or less. Yeah. Open the kimono.
Oh, this one sounds dirty, but
Yeah, it does sound
is
dirty.
it kind of like, it does sound dirty, but is it like open Pandora's box?
Not quite.
Okay, I don't know. I've never heard this one.
It's when somebody accidentally reveals confidential business information. They open the kimono. We weren't supposed to see it.
Okay.
We weren't supposed to see
all
that.
right.
Queen of the Pigs.
I also have never heard this one. I mean, Queen of the Pigs?
Yeah, what would you guess? Use your corporate bro brain and
Probably like The best of the worst?
Yes, Sarah. See, you think you're not a corporate bro, but like you might be. You might be a little bit.
Oh, goodness.
How about feeding the gorilla? I've been surprised how well you're doing at this, by the way.
Feeding the gorilla. I don't think I'll get this one, but feeding the gorilla where you're feeding the beast. Like you're feeding an ever-going kind of like cog in the machine.
You are you're totally correct on that. It's like a core part of the business that just needs to keep on going. You can do high-risk stuff over here. On the side, we got to make sure we feed the gorilla, guys.
Right.
This is funny. I've actually never heard this one. A 0-0 split.
Oh, it's like it's a moot point. There's nowhere to go. No?
Kind of. It's when an employee takes an opportunity to waste time where they work on 2 projects simultaneously, but they tell one boss that like, oh, I'm too busy with this other thing, and then they tell the other boss, oh, I'm too busy with
they're not actually doing anything.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's like
0-0
a moot point.
split.
Yeah. Okay, so back to the canoeing across the wherever they're going. They've capsized. Cynthia and Jason are like not having it. He mansplains constantly to her and tells her what to do or how she should be feeling, etc., which is not good. He just pushes her too far. So the girls go off and they find a magical waterfall, and the guys are trying to make their way through the jungle following the stars and decide that it's a good time to hash out with each other all of their own relationship problems. Jason, we know, is too overbearing and suffocating. Dave has a wife who adores him but never gives her the time that she needs and pays attention. Mm-hmm. Joey is just wanting to talk about himself in his own relationship and doesn't want to be with his wife anymore. And then we have poor
Shane dating a 20-year-old. There's not really much to
having
hash out
a
there.
midlife crisis.
Yeah.
The girls get drunk with Salvatore at the waterfall. I swear this guy is a merman. Like he is just everywhere in the water, coming out of the water slow-mo. This is not as good as a Ryan Gosling slow-mo out of the water.
I was going to ask, like, in terms of overall thirst factor for the movie, Salvador, what does he do for you? Is he like a 8 out of 10, a 9 out of 10? What are your thoughts here?
I think for like a 7 out of 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But he's so muscly, Sarah.
Yeah, but he's kind of like, I don't know. But that doesn't mean that he's a 10 because he's muscly.
Okay, I think he's got very pretty eyes, too, but...
Boom. Boom. Boom.
It's the eye contact with the...
Maybe a 7.
He almost like whispers.
Maybe it's
a
7.5. I don't know.
Boom.
It's also kind of creepy.
It is.
Like,
yeah, it is definitely a little
icky. You know, there's an ick factor there. So that kind of drops him down a little bit. And he's also always there, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so the guys land in up kind of like a staff housing called Ponderosa.
Mm-hmm.
And the main, I guess, concierge guy and Dave hash things out on Guitar Hero.
Stanley with a C.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Stanley with a C.
And you know what? It's funny because when I originally watched this movie, I was like, where is the C? But if you watch with captions on, I'm like, oh shit, there's the C. It's after the S. There's a C added. I thought Stanley was like a C was the first. No. Incorrect.
It's so funny because again, you know that I watch everything with
captions
and now all the TVs and things in our house have captions on them just automatically. So Devin gets the nice.
I get the caption version of things. Yeah.
That's the only way that I also knew that how it was spelled was I thought it was Stanley with a C, like at the first.
Well, because that's what he says, but no. There's an S at the beginning. The C is kind of just wedged in there.
So Jason being a total like annoying human being of life is flipping out because they're gonna get in trouble. But after an epic Guitar Hero battle, Dave wins.
This Guitar Hero moment, normally in movies, we have people fake playing instruments. Like I'm thinking of Lindsay Lohan in Freaky Friday. This movie is the only time I've ever seen the fake playing fake instruments thing.
Oh my
It's
God.
like a double whammy of it.
I never
because
thought of that.
They definitely weren't actually playing expert mode Guitar Hero.
Right.
I mean, like you very rarely... Like when you get the wide shots of Vince Vaughn, it's like he's not doing shit.
Yeah,
like this is not actually.
He's moving his fingers.
Yeah, he's not actually playing the game. I find this an interesting backstory, and I'm going to give you a little quick fact before the quick fact, Sarah. Dave sells Guitar Hero.
Yes.
That is his job.
Mm-hmm.
How profitable do you think that company is?
Now or back then?
Back then, like total revenue.
Like I'd say total revenue like 500 million.
$500 million. No, they had about $2 billion
Holy man.
of retail revenue.
Wow.
25 million units sold worldwide.
God.
That's Guitar Hero, but also the Rock Band. And,
yes. Yeah.
There was one with a microphone too. I can't remember. Fun fact about some of the bands, like they get paid royalties for their songs being
Still?
Well, not anymore, but I think at the point of sale, like you get a little cut of the sale. Guitar Hero has officially made Aerosmith more money than any single album.
No.
Because I think they licensed so many songs for Guitar Hero, and Guitar Hero sold so well that it's actually sold better than any of their one albums.
That is hilarious.
The totality of their careers, still
Of
they
course.
make more on like their albums overall, but
right.
yeah, Guitar Hero is now a pretty big part of their overall revenue.
That's insane.
Hilarious, right?
Thank you, Guitar Hero.
Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome to Aerosmith, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yes. So after the epic win, they are pointed in the direction of the singles area. And they leave unscathed. They're not in trouble. Joey tells Dave that he wants to party and he's with someone who hates him. And Dave says, well, like, whose fault is that? Dave says, you know what? Like, he knows what he wants. Dave's like, I know exactly what I want, and I want my wife. He wants to be married. He wants someone to share his life with, and leaves Joey to party on his own. On the girls' side, same thing is happening where Ronnie is not happy to be there, but Lucy and Cynthia are both having a great time. One with Salvatore and one who just wants to party. Cynthia's just like, she's like, I'm done. I'm done with my relationship with Jason. And so Dave goes and finds Ronnie, comes to get her with cute little pickup lines. Shane sees his wife Jennifer there, who like we get in the last 20 minutes, like, hi, Jennifer, where did you come from? She says that she heard from the salon where she goes that Shane was coming to this crazy singles island and that she went to find him there. Shane tells Trudy that they're no longer together, that she needs to go off and do her young thing, and that he can't do that. He's sad and tired. So he sees Jennifer again after. They make up. Jennifer tells Shane that she still loves him, and they get together. Jason finds Cynthia and tries to tell her what to do again, but she says it's over.
But can I say this whole experience at the end of the movie is all of my what should have been.
It is very like rushed.
So why don't you finish telling the end of this story, and I'm gonna hit you with everything I think is wrong about how this movie ends.
Oh my god. Okay, so Lucy and Salvatore are on the dance floor dancing. Joey sees this and decides that he's jealous that his wife is going to cheat on him. Mm-hmm. Imagine that. He goes onto the dance floor, punches Salvatore in the face. They hash it out, saying, and this is Lucy and Joey now hashing things out. That oh my gosh, you both cheated on each other for years, but we still love each other. And then they end up having a messy makeout. Mm-hmm. Shane and Jennifer get back together. So do Joey and Lucy. Jason and Cynthia also decide that they have to stop doing these things to each other, and they get back together. Mm-hmm. That Jason failed miserably in making her happy, and they also make out. And then all the couples are doing really well, and they don't make it on time to the morning sunset that they have to go on.
But before we get to that, can I just, this is my what should have been, and I'm going to do it early. I feel like we should have had more development of these couples working through their issues.
Yeah.
Did you feel like this just came out of nowhere? Like, I felt like Dave, our main character, I think he learned nothing.
I was going to say, I don't actually think that they learned anything.
He straight up said, like, I'm not changing anything about me because this is who I am and I think we work. And Ronnie basically pouted for a bit. And then she was like, okay, fine, like that works. Joey and Lucy, they yelled at each other once in therapy. Joey punches a yoga instructor and now it's like miraculously back to like marriage saved. No, you guys have issues, yo. Jason and Cynthia at least had a little bit of dialogue to lead up to working through these issues.
Same with same with Shane and Jennifer. You got to the crux of their issue.
Yeah, a little bit, but even then, it's like they're like the third and fourth couples. Like I don't feel like we're actually getting it. Like really, Shane's wife showed up at midnight to be like, "Hey, I've been here. Hello.
Hi, I'm here. I've been looking for you. I didn't think to look on the other side.
A final act just switcheroo where Shane's wife shows up. Like, we knew Trudy was never going to work out, but it just reeked of like, we have this story with all this hilarious dialogue and we have these amazing actors and we're going to have all this comedy. And then at the end, it's like, but how does it all work out?
Right.
And they're like, F it. We're just going to shoot it. We're going to film it and it's all going to work out in the end.
And you're all going to get spirit animals.
Yeah. And go ahead and give us the spirit animals.
So all the couples are doing really well. They don't make it on time to Marcel's sunrise. And I do think so Marcel comes out and goes, I knew you would all get back together. At first, I was like, what a cool twist. And this is kind of what should have been, was that the whole like canoe experience and like the whole trying to get to the single side to save Trudy, like Trudy was in on it. You know, she got an extra few bucks and a few free shots to go over there to get the rest of them to go over there and save her. But it was really a team building / couples building thing. And that Marcel knew that it would bring them all together. Like, I just like, you know what I mean? Like that would have been like hilarious and so on par, like so perfect for the movie. And then they all get their spirit animals.
They all get their individual spirit animals that represent their
couple,
their relationship, and their love and
for each other.
Honestly, like in totality, a really fun movie. This was a great watch. And it's also one of those movies where like you can't look too much between you can't read too much between the lines because you'll start seeing the holes.
Oh no, we're getting close to 2 hours. We got to wrap it up.
We got to wrap this up, man. We got to wrap it up. Just everybody ends up happy at the end. I was a little like, really? Everybody's going to end up happy? I was kind of surprised. But the overall movie was actually a really fun experience.
I agree.
Quick facts. And now I think we do have Sarah on Quick Facts today. She has a tickle, but she might be able to get through it.
Yes, I think I'm good today. The actual St. Regis in Bora Bora was where this movie was filmed. Has a channel on their televisions that plays this movie over and over again.
Stop.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's hilarious.
A model named Irina Krupnik, in the photo to which Joey was preparing to pleasure himself, sued NBC Universal for $10 million in March 2010 for publishing her likeness in a vulgar context. A judge ruled against her in July 2010. Vince Vaughn's character's father in this film, Grandpa Jim Jim, is played by Vince Vaughn's actual real-life father, Vernon Vaughn.
You know what? I felt that because he had like one line. We didn't even see him at the beginning.
I know.
It's like, oh, Grandpa's
doorbell
here. Yeah, there was a doorbell. And it's like, oh, Grandpa Jim Jim's here.
In the film, after the group is told how to find Eden West, Joey is trying to locate the Little Dipper so he can try to find the North Star. Unbeknownst to him, the Little Dipper isn't observable in the southern hemisphere of the world, where Bora Bora is located, so his efforts were completely wasted.
Oh, I feel so sad for everybody in the southern hemisphere now. Really? They never see.
I guess so.
Wow. Good to know.
A controversy arose when the UK posters were released and black actors Faison Love and Callie Hawk were removed. Universal claimed the change was to highlight actors who were more recognizable by UK audiences, but apologized for any offense and changed the plans to use the modified posters in other countries.
Feels a little bit disingenuous.
Yeah. Why would they be taken off?
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous.
I think we know why. Yeah.
Absurd. Vince Vaughn and Kristen Bell also appeared together in Queen Pins from 2021. Vince Vaughn was raised in Buffalo Grove, Illinois, a northwestern suburb of Chicago. The film's characters reside in Buffalo Grove, and Joey, who's played by Jon Favreau, wears several Buffalo Grove high school shirts. Malin Ackerman's eyes were altered for the movie. Her eye color in real life is a light blue/gray. This film is directed by Peter Billingsley, who is a former child actor. He and Jason Bateman appeared together in the movie The Breakup, to which you had also said earlier in the podcast that he also was a child star in The Christmas Story.
Yes.
3 clips seen in the trailer. Malin Ackerman saying, you don't want to see this in a bikini. I haven't waxed since the Stanley Cup. Jon Favreau asking, do we have to bring the wives? And Kristen Davis saying, not a problem, in response to Carlos Ponce saying, excuse my nudity, are actually not seen in the movie.
Drives me crazy when that happens in trailers where you're waiting for the joke to happen, but it turns out it was just one of the 15 outtakes and they used it for the trailer, but it wasn't good enough for the movie. Feels weird.
I find they do that less now.
They do.
But they used to do it all the time and you'd be like waiting and waiting.
You're expecting
and
that
hyped
joke.
up for that so funny joke and then it just never happens. Like what a lunchbag letdown.
Yeah.
Kristen Davis is the only actress in the movie to be older than her on-screen husband. Jason Bateman wears a Northwestern t-shirt, which is the same school his character attended 20 years prior in Valerie, the movie from 1986. Keisha Cole, Kelly Rowland, LaToya Luckett, and Megan Good were considered for the role of Trudy. Vince Vaughn, Jason Bateman, Jon Favreau, and John Michael Higgins all previously appeared in the movie The Breakup from 2006.
Honorable mentions. I kind of mentioned him already, but I think one of the most underrated, kind of like, I don't want to call him a B-list actor because that's not appropriate, but like a side actor in a lot of movies, John Michael Higgins is one of my favorite people. You know, kind of those roles that Sarah and I just watched the Fallout series. Walton Goggins has done so many different roles, but he's like, you know, the 6th or 7th guy in a movie and just has like 10 lines and they're fan-freaking-tastic. John Michael Higgins, he was in Pitch Perfect as one of the announcers.
Yes,
and just
so good.
Beautiful how funny this guy is sometimes, and it drives me crazy when he doesn't get the credit he deserves. So him and Ken Jeong as the two therapists. I mean, there are a few other therapists, but it really brought the comedy with such a little amount of screen time.
I would say the overall cast for me, because you don't see a group of people coming together and making it work as much as you used to. Mm-hmm. I think you get big casts, like big names together, and the movie is either like amazing, which is great, but it's normally like a drama or more serious movie. It's not a comedy. Comedies with big casts like this and like known casts are hard to do. And I think a lot of them in the most recent years have kind of failed a little bit. And I'm sure I'm forgetting one, you know, that's been kick-ass, like, but off the top of my head, but it's hard to do. It's hard to do with so many known characters.
It is. And like
known actors.
It is a credit to this movie that like you have all these big actors. You have, you know, a movie filmed on location in a pretty interesting area. Budget's still only $60 million.
Wow.
You know, it made $171 million at the box office. So like, that's I do find, and it's a similar thing with the Adam Sandler movies, that I genuinely think sometimes these actors are just like, hey, I'd love to shoot an easy comedy in a beautiful destination. On my off days, I want my ass in the sand. So I'll take a discount to go to, where do they film this again? Bora Bora. Love it. If I am a Jason Bateman, I'm like, hell yeah. I'll go to Bora Bora to shoot your little comedy. Yeah, I'll take a discount. Why not? Yeah. We're going to Bora Bora. Let's do it. And now, overall rewatchability.
Okay, my rewatchability is chemistry 4.2. I think like the entire cast had really good chemistry with each other. Like they each hated but loved each other, you know? Storyline 4. There's factor 3.5, imagination 3.8. And my storyline and imagination are those scores. Because I think now you see a lot more things like The White Lotus, like shows like kind of this, but more like mystery thriller. Anyway, soundtrack 3, cheese 3.4, for an overall score out of 5, 3.65.
Okay. Interesting scores. I agree. Like chemistry was on the higher end for me. I gave it a 3.95. Storyline, I had a 3.85. Mostly because like the comedy of the storyline really hit for me. Thirst factor, I had a 4.15. Imagination, though, I had it lower. I had a 3.45. Just because I felt like it did hit a lot of the formulaic rom-com shticks.
That's true.
That kind of need to happen. Soundtrack a 3.8 because there were some funny soundtrack moments. Also, the Guitar Hero moment had some iconic music. Cheese, however, a 3.1 because some of the jokes were a little bit like, oh yeah, of course he's gonna do a masturbation joke here. Like, of course, yeah. But it's funny because
that's why it's a 3.4 for me, and I was like, those are kind of old.
Right. It's funny that we had differing thoughts on a few things, but we still ended up being 0.6 off. I'm a 3.71 on this movie.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So like a good solid, I feel like a Sunday afternoon. What's on? Oh, let's do Couples Retreat. We found this. This one's on Netflix right now. This has been the Rom-Com Rewind of Couples Retreat.
Thanks for listening.